Hello, everybody. Joe Bagnones here, and welcome back. After a long break there, to the final arc we're doing of White Album, Memories Like Falling Snow. That's right, we're finally on the Yayoi route, which I honestly think is going to go really fast. Like, fucking maybe 3 episodes or something. That's just my gut feeling, because half the route is Yuki route stuff that we're just going to skip through, because the only way to get the right flags for Yayoi is, like, get onto the Yuki route, and then she shows up and is like, hey, why don't you just date me instead, and, let Yuki focus on a professional career. And, last time we're like, yeah, whatever, sure, fuck off. But this time we're going to be like, older woman, yes. And when we say older, like, what, Yayoi's like fucking 25 or something? She's not very old, but, to our sex-starved, mindless 20-year-old protagonist, that's like, whoa, fucking MILFs, dude. Whoa! But, yeah. Anyway, hopefully my video turns out okay, because I just updated OBS, like, that I'd been ignoring to update all year, so it looks entirely different. And that frightens me. It's had a visual change. It looks like they changed how the, MP4 files are exported, so new things are scary. That's why I was leaving it alone for so long, because the last time I updated it, I fucked up all my audio settings, and I didn't get it right for a month and a half afterwards. But, yeah. I had a nice, really long trip. Nice is actually a lie. It was fucking awful. Ugh. Terrible. I got sent to the Middle East again for a month. I got to hang out in Germany for a week, though, so that was nice. It was on the way back, so I just, hung out. We went to the bars and clubs every single night. My liver is still recovering. And it was a good time had by all. Actually got back a couple days ago, but had to, readjust to being in a Eastern time fucking zone. Getting my sleep schedule back on track, in processing stuff. I was doing a bunch of tryout stuff yesterday and the day before for, some base honor guard stuff that I won't get into here for now. But yeah, my life is a changing, really fucking fast, actually. This new promotion I got, opening all sorts of doors. I might even be slightly changing careers too, because I volunteered for essentially a teaching job in the military, essentially running a course for training up different maintenance people who come from different airplanes to learn my airplane, and that's like a 4-year commitment. So if I do that, I'm just not going to be doing my normal job for 4 years. That's as long as I've done my current job now. So it's basically starting all over again. But hey, it's really fucking good for career progression. It looks really nice on the yearly reports. Oh shit, this guy's so good at his job. He was chosen to be the guy to teach other people how to do his job. Crazy. But yeah. Anyway, let's just get the show on the road here, because I'm going to be skipping a lot of stuff. This guy is telling me, oh, you got to be careful because you don't want to talk to Sayako, because you don't want to get on her routes, and you got to be careful not to talk to Yuki outside the stuff that the guide mentions, otherwise you get too many Yuki points and you'll fall off the Yayoi route and just, go on the bog standard Yuki route. I know you're not a big fan, but have you seen any of Yuki's TV appearances? Of TV? I know you don't watch it a lot. Honestly, I'm surprised you even know what it is. That's a joke. I love talking with Akira because how he always takes everything I say so seriously. Although sometimes I go a little too far. And I make him actually angry. What are friends for, huh? I can't help but do a spit take in response. Now, where's this side of you when Yuki's around? So, you're as far from a fan as one can get.
方がいいんでしょ、トウヤだってさ。
Well,
僕とかが急にユキにサインなんか願ったら、トウヤ困るだろ。
well, yeah,
親戚の子とかにあげるんだなんてさ。
I guess. Oh, what the heck? Really giving this serious thought. I went into this wanting to tease him, but he managed to turn the tables back on me.
言われたけどさ、親戚には。
Oh, that's rough. I guess it makes sense. No one's asked me to get them an autograph, though.
勝手に話すると。
It's because you don't have, like, any friends outside of your immediate friend group that's already friends with Yuki, so there's be no point. Who are some people? Just in case it isn't obvious.
トウヤだって言ったら、なるほどって納得してた。
Stop bad-mouthing me behind my back. I mean, it makes sense, you know. You kind of want to keep the friend group kind of the same as it was, you know, before she got famous, you know. Don't want her thinking, oh, everything's changed because of me. Stay at home. Yeah, take it easy. The park. Sorry, Yuki, we're just gonna be ignoring you entirely this route. Get this shit done out of the way, nice and quick. Romance? So that way, you know, I can kind of just get on and start the Tsukihime remake. Sorry, Yayoi, but I'm sure there's going to be lots of saucy drama with you involved, but being gone and not being able to do this for a month has really kind of, you know, lit the fire under my seat of just, you know, just finishing it, being done with this whole thing. Because, not gonna lie, White Album 1, pretty mid visual novel overall. Like, 2 good routes out of, like, 6? It's, not a very good score, but, you know, who knows? Maybe Yayoi is gonna be, like, the dark horse fan favorite who's gonna come out on top and really wow me and win me over and be like, this is fucking visual novel top 1 out of 100 of 2024. And I'll be singing its praises, you know, up and down the street, but someone tells me that's probably not gonna happen. I also kind of want to get this done so that way I can go back to grinding on FF14, because I'm in Eureka right now, fucking doing my dailies, fighting all those notorious marks, getting those fucking Animus crystals, so that way Gerald can make me a fucking shinier sword. And this, I don't even know why I'm doing that. Because, like, the second you start the new expansion, it's like, yeah, I know you grinded for, you know, 50 hours to get that pointy stick, but here's this pointier stick we found in the trash that's 10 times better than the one you have. Yep, Flash's big smile. What's up, Yuki? Small talk. I don't know, hobbies unlocked, but I don't really want to talk to you about your hobbies because I don't really care, Yuki. I'm sorry. Oh, but one thing I was doing when I was, like, in the desert for a month is I was actually playing Tokimeki Memorial. The SNES version, because that's, like, the only one that's gotten translated. And it's a pretty good game. You know, like, full on, like, less, it's not really a visual novel. Honestly, the content wouldn't be very great for the channel, so I was just playing it in my own time. I like Yayoi's, like, personal BMG theme here, though. It's good. But anyway, Tokimeki Memorial, yeah, what's up, Yayoi? Really back when they were still doing the whole dating sim thing, you know, where it's like, manage your stats every day, you know, choose something to do, call the girl up, go on a date, you know, pick the right place. Like really more RPG than modern visual novel, which is more of a kinetic novel, which is like, you know, it's just on rails, basically, you know. That one's just kind of do whatever you want. You can spend the whole fucking 3 years of high school sleeping and doing nothing and never talk to a single girl. and then you end the game and it's like, man, that shit sucks. What if I could do it one more time? And that's kind of the whole core concept, is like, oh, let me do high school good and get all the girls, just like I totally did back in the day. Entertainment. What's the entertainment industry like nowadays? I decided to broach a more professional topic, making a deliberate effort to sound as vague as possible to give the impression I don't know much about it.
なぜそのようなことを?
She looks at me almost suspiciously. No reason, but my current job is as an AD, right? So I figure that's something I should probably know.
指示はこちらから出ているはずですわ。
Yeah, you are like a little grunt worker ant. You don't need to know about what's going on above you. Uh-huh. So in other words, work mindlessly.
それでは。
She's a tough nut to crack. Oh, but she'll be cracking your nuts soon enough? What? Yayoi CBT? To the station. You go talk with Mana, I guess. I guess we're just having to kill these random encounters. Because I think how it's supposed to go is we're supposed to go to the station, like, oh, let's talk with Yuki. But Yuki isn't available because everything's psycho down there. It keeps trying to get us to trigger her route. What are we talking about with Mana? It's the 15th. Entertainment. Don't care. Yeah, you listen to your cousin. Yeah, cool. 16th. TV station. Go ask our own girlfriend about her hobbies. Also, man, it's been a while since we've seen Yuki in that outfit. It's either always her casual clothes or her, like, red stage performance one.
どうしたの?
Hobbies. You like jazz, Yuki? What's she asking about? What, the cultural festival? Or, oh, just going shopping. Okay. Yeah, let's go. We can't fully blow Yuki off this time. We still gotta, you know, give her some time of day. What are you here for, Haruka? Want me to do something? Oh, yeah, the fucking student ID shit. Who cares? Ooh. Cancel your plans with Yuki? Fucking yikes. Oh, I already have plans with Yuki that day. What should I do? Gotta cancel my plans with Yuki because it's so important to go update your student ID. Okay, I'll go myself.
いいの?
Hmm?
用事があったんじゃないの?
Nah, it's nothing important. There's not much I can do about that.
そう?
Yeah, unlike you, I take my academic career seriously.
学生課の掲示見落としたのに?
Shut up. At any rate, thanks for the heads up. I appreciate it, I think.
予定狂わせちゃった?
It is what it is. Shikatanai. Honestly, I'm the one to blame here. Nothing about this situation is Haruka's fault. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure to get there first thing in the morning.
じゃあ、一緒に行こう?
Why?
一人だと退屈だよ.
I mean, yeah, let's do it then. Her eyes never leave mine as she laughs in response. What?
じゃあね.
Yep, later. She leaves just as suddenly as she arrived. Thanks again. This registration issue will get solved one way or another, but I'm gonna have to call Yuki and cancel.
もしもし,
Yuki?
トウヤくん?
Yep, it's me.
どうしたの? こんな時間に.
Her usual cheerful voice is tinged with concern, making it sound slightly sad. Yeah, it's like you never call, so there must be something bad. So, actually, something came up and I won't be able to make it tomorrow.
そうなの？
I have
どう
to
して急に？
go to the school office and update my ID. Well, oh no. I'm sorry. I actually have to go to school with Haruka tomorrow to take care of something.
学校の方危ないの？
No, not exactly. That reminds me. Did you already stop by the student affairs office to re-register?
うん。
Of course. That's what's going on. The deadline is tomorrow.
そうなんだ。私、弥生さんに頼んで郵送で済ませちゃったから。
Was she your mom? I'm off in La La Land somewhere while Yuki's juggling a full-time career in school.
じゃあ行かなきゃダメだね。私、トウヤ君に教えて
Speaking of juggling school and a full-time career, that will be the nice thing if I get this this teaching gig, because I'll just be able to do like essentially full-time classes on the side, and just entirely focus on that. Because sometimes, apparently, there's like weeks of downtime where it's like there's no class scheduled, so you're essentially just reviewing your course material and updating your PowerPoints and like making slideshows and stuff. But once that's all done, you're basically a free agent. You can do whatever. So I'll be fucking grinding away on assignments, finally getting my degree done. Well, at least my associates. I'm real close to my associates. I can bang that out probably within the year. Not the end of this year. That's like a couple months away, and that's not going to happen. But, you know, the end of next year. And then by then my bachelor's will only be probably another year away. And then bada bing, bada boom. Career goals accomplished. Then I can get like a real job. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm the one who completely dropped the ball.
うん。
Luckily, Haruka mentioned it to me, so I should be fine. I hope.
そうだよね。
She murmurs quietly, sounding somewhat relieved.
じゃあ明日ははるかにトウヤ君をお任せしなきゃね。
Yeah, it's not like you're out, you know, trying to fucking catch some hussies or something. You know, you're just with our good mutual friend Haruka, who would never betray my trust. Ever. And try to put the moves on you. Nope. No, sir. You sound like I'm a kid that needs to have a guardian present.
でも明日はそうでしょ？
I mean, yeah, but still.
じゃあ私、明日はお部屋でおとなしくしてることにするね。お掃除とかもしなきゃいけないし。
Yeah, sweep up all that dust because you never use that room. Someone that's bad at acting or forced laughter doesn't do much to cover up her feelings. Her disappointment is more than a little evident.
また今度だね。
Of course. And we end our call. My heart aches so much. And at the same time, I feel somewhat relieved. Yeah, it's like when, you know, you're going out with a bunch of friends and then the plans fall through and you're like, thank fucking God. It's like, sure, I like going out with my friends, but also it's like, that gets in the way of my me time, and I'm kind of a selfish guy, so, like, it's like, as much as I love you guys, fuck off and leave me alone. I want to, like, stare at the wall and do nothing today. Yep, go to school. Fucking get that stupid ID thing done.
おはよ
Oh, you're already here? Oh, you're up pretty early.
う。遅れたらまずいから。
I know.
行こう。
Okay. Oh, there are a lot of people here. Even though I know most of them aren't here for the same reason I am, I still have a feeling it's gonna take a while.
ほら、トウヤ。
Yeah, all the other slackers also coming to do it on the last day. Sure. Hang on. We're going so far as to handle my academic affairs is making me feel worse. In the end, there were fewer people in line than I expected, and I finished the registration process a little after noon. Whew, that's finally over.
お疲れ様。
Thanks. We slump in our chairs, relaxing.
はい、トウヤ。
She hands me a soda I don't remember seeing her buy. Thanks. It's cold. Thanks for saving my butt, Haruka. I mean it.
そう？
Yeah, I'm exceedingly grateful.
そうや、今日誰かと約束あった。
Huh? Why?
なんとなく
You do, huh?
そういう顔してたし。
Yeah? I guess I am easy to read.
ユキと
What? Well, maybe.
そう。
What?
ううん。
She's being very shady. Just so we're clear, you're not the reason why I didn't get to see Yuki today, got it? So get the thought out of your head.
何も言ってないよ。
Very shady indeed. At the end of the day, I'm the only person to blame for my mistake.
ごめんね。
Why?
あ、ううん。
Yeah, you could have just dealt with this on the back end, getting a little slap on the wrist for being late with your fucking applications, whatever. Who cares? You could have spent the day with your girlfriend. Almost sad how shady she's acting. Arca. Having no plans and nothing better to do, we ended up hanging around for a while longer before finally heading home.
じゃあね。
Okay, thanks again. Now, just saying, if Yuki was staying at home all day, you could have just gone to hang out at her house after you were done. It was only afternoon. It was what, like 1 p.m.? Go out, maybe get a pizza, bring her something to eat, have a little impromptu dinner date, Come on, dude, this is easy shit. This is like elementary school courting a woman shit. Well, I guess I should get home. Maybe buy her a nice rose at the gas station or something. I don't know. 18th. Stay at home until the 20th. Oh. God, I'm still not adjusted to being back in my own house in this time zone. I'm having that thing where I go to sleep at night, then I keep waking up every couple of hours because my body's like, you should be awake right now. It's the middle of the day. And it's like, no, it's not. It's fucking 2 a.m. Let me sleep. And then unless you sleep for like an hour more, then it's like, are you going to get up now? I'm like, no. And it's like half an hour later, what about now? It's like, I guess I can go to the bathroom. But then I'm going back to bed and it's like, okay. Then an hour later, it's like, are you awake now? Let's see. 20th TV station. Yeah, let's go hang out with Yayoi. Have her bitch at us. Huh? I'm pretty sure that's... Yeah, it's Yayoi. Looks like she's here by herself today. Should I say hello at least? So, Yayoi.
何か?
She turns around with almost peculiar fluidity. Oh, I was just hoping we could chat for a bit.
構いませんけど.
You like jazz, Yayoi? Hey, I wanted to ask you something about Yuki.
はい?
Is it really okay for her to work that hard every day? Are there rules and stuff that dictate up to how many hours someone can spend on the job?
労働基準法ですか?
Probably. I think most people just call it the LSA.
ええ、問題ございませんわ。
Oh, yeah?
法定範囲内の労働ですので。
Yeah, legal scope.
ユキさんの場合。
Yeah, her official hours on the clock all fall into legal scope, but then there's the extracurricular, off-the-job training and stuff she has to do, so. But, she's doing that of her own volition. It's not part of her job, so it doesn't count, even though, she won't get calls back if she doesn't do it. But that's true, then why does it seem like she never has any time for herself? Certainly not enough to spend with me.
納得されておられないようですね。
Wow.
ユキさんの場合、労働だけではありませんので。
What?
レッスンが組まれ
Yeah,
ており
like
ま
I
す。
said. Oh, right. She's been busy with voice and dance lessons ever since high school. I figured that would end when she made her debut, but instead, she has even less free time than before. I guess to master even the most advanced techniques. No wonder she doesn't have any free time. By the it's still included within her working hours. Nope.
含まれます。
Incorrect. Of course.
受講料が必要経費として支給されてはおり
Yeah,
ま
she's
せん。
not getting paid for that. Some of which is probably comparable to my own salary. Really takes care of everything in this business. But wait. And what about you, Yayoi? She's seemingly always by Yuki's side, even during her lessons. But, unlike Yuki, Yayoi is always on the clock.
私のお仕事はユキさんのお仕事のサポートですわ。
That makes sense.
ユキさんがお仕事をなさってる間だけが私の勤務時間です。
Ooh, very flexible hours. You just said her lessons don't count as work.
それならきっと私もお仕事ではないのでしょうね。
Yeah, she's just there for emotional support for a friend and colleague. Okay. She's got an answer for everything.
私とユキさんはお友達ですから、休日を一緒に過ごしても不思議ではないでしょ。
For some reason, I can't help but laugh in response. It's almost because of her use of the word friend. Didn't realize it existed in her lexicon. I mean, I don't doubt that Yayoi and Yuki are like actually friends, you know, off the clock, but you only ever see Yayoi's prickly side when she's at work and you're trying to fucking bother her when she's trying to focus. No wonder you don't get to see a good side of her very often. 21st. Ooh, damn, we got nothing until the 27th. Yikes. But man, 40-hour work week, if only, man. When you're out in the desert, you just get fucked. Like, shit's awful. We work 6 days on, 1 day's off, 12 hours a day. So, what's that? 12 hours times 6, we're working a 74-hour work week. I did that math right? Or is it 72? 72, yeah. I was adding a 7 in there out of nowhere, but you know what I mean. Like a stupid amount, almost twice the amount of work a normal person does in a week. And we only get our 1 day off, which, you know, you spend the entire day sleeping. And that's exactly what you do when you get off work too, is, you know, you get off work at noon, because we worked midnight to noon. But then the bus takes like an hour to get to our fucking work center because no one's going to be walking the 2 miles back to the dorms in the fucking desert heat, where it's like the raw temperature is like 110, but then you add in the heat index from the humidity and it's in like the 130s. For you Euroids out there, that's like I'm not 100. Like 50 degrees Celsius. Stupidly hot. No one's walking in that. So we stay after work for like an hour to catch the bus. Then you go to the bus and you got to go get lunch or fucking dinner, whatever you want to call it, depending on the time of the day. And then you go back to your room, you shower, and you go to bed. And then you wake up 8 hours later and you do it all over again. Really, really fucking mind-numbing. Fortunately, the place where I was at, you know, they have a nice little movie room with a bunch of couches and like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. So we're just watching movies the entire time. We're not, you know, actually working. Either doing movies or there's like a ping pong table or, you know, just smoking because it's the desert and there's nothing else to do and you can get like unfiltered like fucking Arabian cigarettes and shit. Give you the super cancer. Fuck, that's what got me when I was in Germany. Like, I don't smoke very often, and even when I do, it's like a pipe maybe once a week. But when we were out on the town, dude, I was puffing back like over half a pack of cigarettes in the night. And the next day I'd be like, fucking getting the tar out of my system. But, dude, I'm so happy I don't have like a fucking... I was gonna say tobacco addiction, but I guess it's more nicotine. That's the thing that really makes you addicted. But like, I don't get any cravings for like cigarettes or to smoke my pipe. It's like only doing it, 1, because I'm drunk, 2, everyone else is smoking, because I'm a bitch to peer pressure, and 3, it makes me look cool. and it's Europe and everyone fucking smokes. Yep. Take a seat. Really, you two, comfortable silence. Okay. Ooh, can't talk to her about the entertainment industry anymore. Read any good books? TV's pretty amazing nowadays, huh? I don't just mean the shows, but the commercials as well. Maybe this might be interesting to her.
お好きなのですか?
Huh? I guess, in my own way.
そうですか。では。
With that, she walks towards the back of the room by herself. Huh? I feel like I'm getting nowhere with her. Man, she just really doesn't like you, huh? Olive branch after olive branch, and she's just fucking taking them and making olive oil out of them. Though, then again, fucking Toya here, he's really bad at socializing, so I'd honestly be annoyed with him too if I'm just trying to do my job and he keeps trying to fucking chat my ear off about inane bullshit. School festival. I guess we're just staying at home today. And then Yuki will give us a call in the evening, being like, you want to go? And then we say, yeah, sure. We're not going with anyone. Yep, no plans. Yep, let's go to the fucking school festival with Yuki. Go watch Misaki's fantasy play thing, whatever it was. Arrive at the meeting spot 10 minutes earlier and wait around for her. I don't need to read this. Outdoor stage? What, you gonna go watch a fucking hero show? No, let's go watch the theater club. Oh, quiet. Woo! Got through the month in only half an hour. You know, cut out me yapping for probably a third of that, you know. Only 20 minutes and we're, was that like a fifth through the route, technically? I guess maybe not in, like, story content, but in the calendar, anyway. I guess more a quarter. Because only November, December, January, Feb, yeah. Ends in late February, so. We've crushed, defeated a quarter of the route in only, 30 minutes. We're making great time. Yep. Go work as an AD. Let's go harass Yayoi when she's trying to work. Just trying to do her job, and we're fucking hounding after her to fucking say dumb shit to her.
何か?
Turns around with peculiar fluidity.
構いません.
Are you into sports or anything, Yayoi?
いいえ.
She answers without hesitation. Yeah?
失礼します.
You don't want to go, like, toss the pigskin out on, like, the front yard? We're waiting for Yuki's show to be done? Like, well, now I feel like nothing but a failed flirt. Ring, ring, ring. What are we doing? Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go be an AD for Yuki. Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Yuki. I was about to say we'll go work for free on the weekend, but it is a weekday, and we're probably getting commission for this, so no real point not to go. But we'll skip it, because who fucking cares? Sorry, Yuki. Your scenes are generally pretty boring. It's not your fault. Okay. Okay, just hang out, yeah. Sure, I'll go on a date with my girlfriend, I suppose. I can squeeze you into the schedule. Man, that's a long skip. Thank God I didn't have to read all that shit. The 6th. Guess what? We're doing nothing. Seventh, nothing. I'm honestly running out of things to talk about. I kind of talked about everything I already wanted to. Hey, Yayoi, what's up? Oh, it's Yoi. I love when women see me and just go, "Ugh." Like, great. Fucking good to see you too, bitch.
カウンターよろしいでしょうか。
Sure, go ahead.
恐れ入ります。
She quietly takes a seat at the bar. The two of us fall into a comfortable silence. Entertainment.
なんでしょう。
You repeatedly say everything you do is for Yuki. I have a feeling there's no way she'll give me an answer I can accept, but I decide to ask anyway. But then saying something like that, I don't get it. I don't understand what you want from me. Yoi looks at me. It's almost like she's making a mental recording. Oh, that must have been where we skipped over the scene where she's like, leave Yuki the fuck alone, just date me instead, whatever. Yoi's looking at me, almost like she's making a mental recording. Did I already say that?
不服なのですか。
She ends up posing a question that's difficult for me to answer. Technically, we're equals, but from a psychological standpoint, I feel like she has a huge advantage over me. Yeah, like I said, you have the constitution of wet cardboard.
よろしいのですよ。望む。
Anyone with the semblance of a spine would immediately bowl you over. Like it's not even a contest. Her answer sets time into motion once more. Her gaze remains fixed on me, but I can't bring myself to look back. I don't want you to talk like that. Please. That's all I'm asking. Am I getting through to her? Her expression remains the same as she watches me, puzzled. Then she turns her back on me and walks away. Did you at least order anything? That's not what I wanted at all. I don't want to cause any problems for Yuki. I absolutely don't want to get in her way. Still, knowing all that, I don't understand how someone can view themselves as an object. I need to learn to be okay with that. My mind turns to thoughts of Yayoi, as much as possible in my own way. Hey man, maybe she's just into it. Some people like dig being the third wheel. She's the whole unicorn thing. Now then, where should I go today? Nowhere. Sit at home and mope in our room, being like, oh, so many beautiful women want me. My life is so hard. Stare dramatically and like forlornly in the mirror. Like, curse these good looks. Now, one thing I can say though, coming back from the desert is I lost a fair bit of weight out there. Like, I probably sweat off 10 pounds just existing. So, my cheekbones and my chin are looking a lot more defined, and I'm like, ooh, fucking, who's this handsome fellow in the mirror? Still got a long ways to go though. Like, to get to where I used to be, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I would probably need to drop 30, 40 more pounds. I got fat the past couple of years. Yep, sure as Yayoi. Yeah, you can sit in the bar. But, now that my schedule might be becoming, a little more lax, really plan to start going to the Y again and just killing it in the pool, just like back, forth, just like swim like fucking miles. Because swimming is great. Full body workout. It's relatively low impact, which is the issue I have. Because, you know, if you're trying to cut weight, it's all fucking cardio. And, you know, also lift weights, you know. But like I was saying, the issue I get is my legs just like fucking explode because of my bad shins and knees, and, you know, the actual mechanical structure of my legs is bad according to my doctors. So a low impact is good because it keeps me from being a fucking cripple. Entertainment. So, speaking of CDs, do you know what CD stand for, Yayoi? It stands for compact disc. But whether the disc is spelt with a C or a K actually depends on something. I actually don't remember, but there is a difference whether disc is spelt with a C or K. It's not just like, oh, either spelling is right. They are actually different things. So, the more you know. I'm sorry, what? Next Sunday? I don't have any plans yet. Wait, why do you ask? Accompany you? Oh, Rikanura. Okay. Is that so? Is she serious right now? I think she means it. Probably. Sure. Okay then. Sure. I'll accompany you on your, expedition. There's no way I can turn her down without feeling bad. Make girls cry, dude. Fucking live your own life. They don't like it, fuck them. Great. I know there's no reason for me to be afraid, yet for some reason, I'm still, I kind of still am. Uh-huh. She's still staring at me for some reason. Do you need a menu? Oh, right. And she's gone. I have a feeling this won't be your typical fun, casual hangout. Oh, it's fine with me, either way. Yeah, it's easier to, like, compartmentalize it in my brain and emotionally if it's work. Back to Echoes. Welcome. Yep, sure is Yayoi. Yep, she sit. Yeah, you can sit at the bar. We'll fucking put a nameplate out on the seat for you, like right on the bar, so that way everyone knows it's your seat and they don't sit there by accident. What are we doing? Hobbies or literature? Literature. I actually read an entire novel for the first time in a while the other day. It was very history heavy, so I ended up learning a lot more than I have from any textbook. Oh, I did actually learn anything that'll stick with me. I try to laugh it off. No matter what I say, I just feel like I'm spinning uselessly in circles. Are you bored with this conversation? Hi. I figured as much. Shouldn't be that brutally honest, though. Oh yeah, there's plenty of, like, historical dramas on TV, ain't there? Oh yeah? Correct. Sure. That's probably why the peculiar genre exists in the first place, right? Well, ouch. The literary interpretation of her words might be, shut up and do your job. Okay, then. And so I go back to work. You are just fucking prickly as a cactus, ain't ya? might be someone's type. And, you know, honestly, I can see the appeal a little, but you're always just kind of a little mean sometimes, you know. Even you just kind of play ball. Like sometimes even if you do not give a shit about the topic the other person's going on about, you sometimes just gotta politely nod along and be like, yeah, mm-hmm. Oh, I never thought about it like that. And then find your chance to escape. You know, once there's a pause, that's just like you slap your knees and you're like, well, gotta get back to work. And then you make your escape. But just stonewalling my man day after day after day. Dude's gonna get a concussion from just walking into you.
何か
Yep, her
構い
fluidity.
ませんけど
I think they're dressing up Yayoi.
あまり気にしませんので
Oh yeah? I figured. I think a more mature, sophisticated style would look good on you, though.
仕事場に来てくるわけにはいきませんから
Yeah. You could wear it on your days off? Though I'm not actually sure she has days off.
興味ありませんのでそれでは
Yeah, pretty sure this could be considered like sexual harassment in the workplace. Maybe try a different tactic next time, bud. And it wouldn't look good for you in the HR meeting. You know, a part-time, you know, assistant director just fucking who carries shit around, harassing the, you know, the talents managers. Like, ugh. You can tell whose side they're gonna take. Big yawn. I've been waking up so early lately, too. Like, the past couple of days, I've been going to sleep at... like, before 8 p.m. But even then, you know, I've been waking up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Normally, I would go to bed at that time and I'd sleep until fucking noon. But I guess my internal clock is still a little busted.
お付き合いありがとうございます
Huh? You didn't drive here?
駐車場をお借りしましたが
Could've just parked on the street, unless everything here's no parking. Ah, right. Talking to her always feels like pulling teeth.
少し歩きましょうか
Sure. Well, going for a walk together can be pretty romantic, depending on the person you're with. Though I doubt that'll be the case here.
何か
Nope. Let's go. Oh god. Fucking loud background noise. Go away. With everyone on break, a lot of people are out and about. And standing about amongst all of them is Yayoi. She does not blend in.
ミュージックショップに立ち寄ってもよろしいでしょうか
Nope, not at all. Feels almost like we're just a normal couple on a date. I think to myself as we enter the store.
セールスの規模から考えましてこの系列のショップが
Uh-huh.
尾形さんのレーベルの占める空間的な視野がこれだけとしますと
Okay. I get the feeling she's completely forgotten I'm still even here.
今日は本当にお付き合いありがとうございました
Did you, though? Oh, no problem. All we did was go shopping, I think.
いかがでした
Pardon? What did I think of what?
ショップの売り場面積のレーベルごとのシェアですわ
Right. Shelf space?
アルバムがリリースされた場合をシミュレートしてみますと
Okay.
失礼いたしました今日は藤井さんとのショッピングでしたわね
Feels less like she forgot and more like I was just tagging along as she did work.
ついいつかユキさんのアルバムの並ぶ場面を想像してしまいました失礼いたしました
That's... But before I can finish my thought, she immediately cuts me off.
帰りにお食事ご一緒願いますか
You buying or we going Dutch? Sure. After a fairly unenjoyable dinner, we go our separate ways. That was a pretty dull day, as I expected, but her somewhat offhanded remark about Yuki's future album release sticks with me. That's right. It's only a matter of time before Yuki's music will be lined up on those shelves. Gotta put the emphasis on the right words. She made it far enough that she can realistically dream about that kind of reality. And Yayoi clearly is dreaming enough for both of them. While Yayoi has always struck me as being far from a dreamer as one can get, her dreams seem far more realistic than mine. To be fair, I doubt she has many. Only ones involving Yuki. Suddenly overcome with a mix of indescribable relief and utter defeat. What kind of dreams do I have about Yuki? And what kind of future do I see her having? I immediately put a stop to that. Better to figure out the present before worrying about the future. Wow, rare achievement for seeing Yayoi's date scene. If you could call that a date. Though to be fair, I have also had some pretty painful dates that felt like pulling teeth. But I won't go into the details here. Working as an AD. Yawn. With my studio work done for now, I decide to step outside for a break before starting the next job. At that moment, I see someone walking towards me. It's Yayoi, and Yuki's not with her. I try to move past her, pretending not to see her, but I jerk involuntarily. Oh, Yayoi! Working hard? Or hardly working. I know I sound phony as hell, but I find it impossible to act natural around her, even here. It doesn't matter, since she ignores my ridiculous attempt at conversation. Not really. I'm in the middle of... But before I can finish, it hits me. I bet my money on the fact that Yayoi's been monitoring me somehow while I've been working. Otherwise, how else could she have so perfectly timed bumping into me during this oh-so-convenient gap between jobs? What's this "do you have a moment" crap? She knows full well that I do. Actually, sure. You caught me just when I went on break. She says, smiling at me. Everything is going according to her plan. Uh-huh. I answer non-committally. Fine. At this stage of the game, that's all I can say. She sounds polite, but there's a take-no-prisoners undertone that commands obedience. And so, I follow her without complaint. She leads me down a hallway lined with green rooms. Though at this hour, they're all empty. Yuki didn't come in for work today, did she? I ask her, trying to feign ignorance. And yet, just like always, it's not enough to crack her icy exterior. I know it wouldn't faze her, yet the complete non-reaction leaves me feeling miserable. With that, she pulls an envelope from her handbag and passes it to me. Is this for me? I too many syllables in that word. Suspiciously look down at the object in her hands. It's a small, yet otherwise ordinary-looking green envelope. Green. I can take it? She doesn't seem to care one way or another, so I guess it's fine. Okay then. I timidly accept it. You looked inside? Yeah, that's a federal offense. I can't be looking at other people's mail unless it hasn't gone through the post office and it's just tickets in an envelope, in which case it's not mail, in which case it's not a crime, I guess. As you were, Yayoi. She flashes her pearly white teeth at me in a grin. do you do like teeth whitening, Yayoi? Like with the strips, or do you go to like the dentist and get it done with like the laser?
ご安心を。
I guess that makes sense. Plus, as her manager, she would know Yuki's schedule pretty well. Besides, it's clear Yuki trusts her completely. Enough to ask her to act as a sort of messenger.
これをポストに投函するよう言われていたのです。今日たまたまここに藤井さんがいらっしゃったので、手渡しで失礼させていただこうかと。
That's fine. And I'm sure Yuki wouldn't be mad that you didn't follow her her directions exactly.
恐れ入ります。
Her delivery is so flat that I can never tell whether she's joking or being serious. She sure sounds like she means it, but I don't know. That's fine. I appreciate it. But are you really sure I can accept this? Aren't these tickets like worth a lot of money? What I mean is, if I accept this ticket, I'll absolutely go see Yuki perform. You're okay with that? She's like, yeah, it'd make Yuki happy and it like stabilize her mood if you go. I feel like a naive idiot worrying about someone who's got my hands tied behind. What? I feel like a naive idiot worrying about someone who's got my hands tied behind my back. However, her seeming fine with me going to Yuki's concert leaves me feeling wary, prompting me to ask her directly.
結構ですわ。
She chuckles.
これはユキさんの今年最大のイベントですから。美しいユキさんの最高のステージ。
Yeah, really bump those numbers, you know, make it look good for the cameras. You know, the full crowd. Don't you mean my Yuki's performance? I intentionally mimic Yayoi's usual monotone. But instead of reacting negatively,
ええ、彼女はすべて私の望むものを一つ一つ確
good
実
for
に
you,
叶え
but
てくださいます。
maybe don't live vicariously through your talent, or unless your hopes and dreams are all for Yuki, in which case, good for you, I guess, but maybe, you know, have some that, like, focus on you? Like, you seem like you need a little me time, girl. Like, kind of reorientate your life a little, you know? You're a little off kilter.
おそらくこれからも一歩一歩夢を叶えていってくださるでしょう。ユキさんは私のすべてですわ。
For the briefest moment, a very feminine, or rather, an incredibly human expression crosses her face. But it vanishes quickly.
ですからユキさんへの無意味な振動は与えたくないのです。例えば自分の恋人に裏切られるような。
Yeah, you know, if I dig my claws into him first, you know, he can't go to see any other women, so it's... I'm really just holding him down, you know, to protect Yuki. Of course, I see now. Yuki being able to see me either before or after the show is an effective way to help her succeed. I'm just a tool to relieve her anxiety and recover her strength. I nod silently, the truth behind this situation finally dawning on me. So that's why you're okay with this. But
でもはございません。お分かりですね。
she interrupts me, looking at me intently.
これ以前には極力ユキさんにお会いになったり連絡を取られたりはしてほしくないのです。
Then she takes my hand and presses it against her breast. Ooh.
何もユキさんだけが女性の体を持っているわけではないでしょう。
I mean, when you say it like that.
ですがトップアイドルになれる才能はユキさんだけしか。
So I've been told. I meant for that to come out coldly, but my tongue catches in my dry throat and it all comes out as a weak croak. Ooh. Ah. I had that happen when I was in Germany, and I was fairly drunk and talking with some pretty ladies, and I had also been smoking like half a pack, so I'm trying to speak over the loud music, and my voice just comes out as it like absolutely cracks and just dies in my throat. I'm like, that's embarrassing. And I decided to mentally unalive myself right then and there, like completely disassociate with reality. I mean, everyone was fine afterwards. Like, we had a great time. But still, like, that one moment, it's like, oh god, what am I, like, fucking 14?
でした。
But, you know, half a pack of fucking cowboy killers will do that to you. Yes, envision it with your mind's eye. I can feel the pulse of her heartbeat in the palm of my hand. But I'm pretty sure it's mine. I guess being touched like this by the opposite sex doesn't faze her. I wonder, not for the first time, whether she even has a heart inside her. Or if it's fucking flashing screen giving me a seizure. Or if there's something inorganic, a motor revving endlessly inside her chest cavity doesn't seem far-fetched. That being said, I definitely find myself attracted to her perfectly proportioned body and beautifully sculpted features. And she's practically throwing herself at me to let loose in ways I can't with Yuki. Like some kind of temptress. What if I were to use her body to satisfy my own primal desires? Would I be able to keep my affection for Yuki intact? I feel nothing for Yayoi. And she has clearly stated that she has no interest in dating me. So the only solution I can see is to find some sort of middle ground. Without going all in, you know, just the proverbial tip. Because if I can't stay firm enough, then she'll end up painting over my feelings for Yuki before I can stop her. She places both her hands on top of mine. The warmth from her skin is indescribably bizarre. And she must be really hot if you can feel it through like her fucking 3-4 layers of clothes she got there. Suddenly snapped to reality. I'm still in the middle of something. Yeah, on the clock. I yank my hand back, stuff the envelope into my pocket, and race off. Smooth moves, dude. Chicks will think you're so cool after that. Despite the shame I feel over how weak-willed I am, can't deny how outrageously attractive I find her. No. It's almost like she's put some sort of spell on me. I return to the studio, acting like nothing happened, finish up the rest of my work, and head home. Once I get home, I take a few moments to calm myself down before opening the envelope from Yuki. Inside is a letter, several sheets of paper, and a ticket. It's a ticket to the Christmas Eve show, just like Yayoi said. Her figuring it out so easily makes me feel embarrassed, as if she somehow caught me naked. I read the letter. It contains details about the show itself. It's a Christmas Eve concert sponsored by the TV station itself, showcasing the hottest performers starting December 20th and ending on the 25th. Yuki takes center stage on Christmas Eve itself. This marks a huge step up in Yuki's career, and yet I can't help but see these steps as taking her progressively further from me. At the bottom of the letter,
PS この間は変なこと言っちゃってごめんなさい。
Yuki, you're always weird. Don't apologize for it.
気にしないでください。でも嬉しかったよ。
That's it. I look at the ticket for a moment. No matter how many people around her are trying to hold her back, she continues to do her best all by herself. The 16th? Nothing. We got nothing until the 19th. Oh, she gives me some time to have a nice sip of coffee. Ugh. Oh, that's something I was really deprived of too when I was out there, is an absolute lack of coffee. Like, sure, there's coffee shops on base, but they're always like in weird spots, and you gotta like get someone to drive you out there because no one has a personal vehicle out there unless you're like a senior NCO, which I am not. The 19th, yeah, 19th. So you got to get someone who, one, can drive on base, two, has the van, get some other people who also want to go to the coffee shop, and then, you know, find the time in between work, like, to actually go to get some, like, okay coffee. God bless Green Bean, though. Fucking lifeblood of that place. TV station. TV station. Ugh. All right, Yayoi, you gonna sexually harass us today, too? Ah, good morning. It's unusual for Yayoi to start a conversation with me. She's really, putting the moves on. Romance. Yeah, fuck off. Let's talk about the weather instead. Usually drive to work, right, Yayoi? Gotta fall to small talk to stay on the safe side. There have been quite a few accidents on that intersection in front of the TV station. It's always been dangerous, and there have been a good number of crashes already this year. Huh? I can see why she's probably looking confused. Why she's probably confused. What did I even say? Well, she's probably confused. I just wanted to say to be careful. Oh, I don't mean that as a warning or anything. It's just that you drive Yuki sometimes, so... Is she angry? Yeah, but you gotta look out for other people. Defensive driving and all that. Oh yeah? She doesn't seem angry, but her attitude is off-putting. Like, what, you don't think I'm a good enough driver to fucking look after Yuki? Like, you can't even drive, dude. Stay in your lane, and by that I mean the fucking bike lane, dweeb. And she's gone. She probably has stuff to do. That must be it. It's not that she just fucking hates you and wanted to get away from you as soon as possible. No siree. Alright, back to the TV station, talk about the weather some more. No, fuck off. Yeah, what's up, Yayoi? Yeah, it's so rare that she did it 2 times in 1 week. Crazy. I've been working as a private tutor lately. Yeah. I'm doing my best. That was the most I couldn't care less response ever. Oh, I guess I brought it on myself. Yeah, like, she doesn't give a fuck about your multitude of little part-time jobs, dude. Like, that was bad. 22nd, nothing, cool. Nothing until the concert. Big yawn. Woo! Christmas Eve! Yeah, whatever. Maybe once upon a time I'd be able to sing along, but not right now. This means I'll have to dig through my files and find where I put the subtitled version. I do really like Yuki's, you know, kind of red colored outfit here more than her pure white one. Like the pure white one is very like late 90s, early 2000 kind of music video that I just do not gel with, you know, like the kind where it looks like they're inside a cheese grater. Like everything's just like metal and shiny and white. You know that this one, it's a little more classic, you know, it's got a little, I don't want to say more charming. It is, but that's not the kind of the right thing I was going for, but it's over. So yeah. Yep, sure say that song, Yuki.
じゃあ弥生さんはこの青年と外の連中担当ね。俺は責任持ってユキちゃんを送ってくからさ。
Mm-hmm.
なになに、そんな怖い顔しないでよ。大丈夫だって。
She clearly
ち
doesn't
ゃんと
fucking
責
trust your
任持って
ass.
送るって。弥生さん知ってるくせに妹がうるさいってこと。
Oh yeah, Rena, she fucking exists. Yeah, that's right. She's a character.
わかりました。
I put on Yuki's jacket and hat and follow Yayoi into the hallway.
どうやくん、
Yuki calls my name through the crack in the door. What's wrong?
どうやくん、本当にごめんなさい。今日せっかく来てくれたのに。
Shit happens. It's fine. Just the nature of the business. Despite her nod of thanks, I get the feeling she wants to say something else. What's wrong, Yuki? I press her slightly and she glances up at me briefly, before simply hanging her head in silence.
ねえ、どうやくん、正直に言ってね。
Okay.
誰か、どうやくん、私と付き合う前に。
Huh? A girl I liked before Yuki? Nope. Considering her successful performance, why is she worrying about something like this now? My confusion over such a seemingly random question makes me hesitate. I mean, not really. Probably not. I honestly don't remember. Yuki looks me straight in the eyes. It's not a lie, yet I can't deny the nagging guilt I feel regardless.
そうなんだ。
She finally murmurs under her breath, a hint of something far different from relief in her expression. I'm kinda surprised though. I didn't know you cared about stuff like that.
あの時、どうやくんに無理強いしたんじゃないかって。ずっと心配だったから。
She still believes the only reason we're dating is because she forced me into it by confessing her feelings.
ごめんね、変なこと言っちゃって。こんなこと聞かれるの、どうやくんも嫌だよね。本当に勝手だね、私って。
I mean, yeah, most people don't like
ずっと
being
放っておいたの
emotionally
に私の
interrogated.
方なのに、ちょっと寂しくなると、どうやくんにばっかりこんなこと言ってね。
It's really okay, Yuki. Yeah, we're kind of like a couple. It's okay for that to happen. You know, people in relationships are allowed to emotionally lean on the other one, but the only thing I can do is cut her off. Oh, I'm sure there'd be far better ways to comfort her if we were actually partners. No matter where I look, I can't find a solid footing leading to her heart. How do we end up like this? My paralyzed brain can't figure out how to untangle the mess we're in.
どうやくん、
Well, it's because you're both such like passive personality types. You're just kind of drifting along without either one of you like taking the initiative. So, you know, yada yada, say it all the time. Fucking relationships are like plants. You gotta like maintain and water them and you know, look after them to make them grow and be healthy. But you guys are like treating it like a cactus and just leaving it in the windowsill and not doing anything with it. And just be like, yeah, you know, it'll be fine. Yeah?
好き。
And with that, she slips back behind the door.
参りましょう。
Yeah, that's fucking painful to watch. Let's get out of here. She proceeds to walk past me as I stand there with my head bowed, my body trembling. Her movements seem robotic, in a sense, and uncompromisingly resolute. I hurry after her, trying to keep my head down as much as possible. As I follow Yayoi into the parking lot, I notice my breath hanging in white clouds in the air.
急いでお乗りください。
Do you at least have heated seats? She gestures me towards that all too familiar passenger side door of our black BMW. The metal is unbearably cold, to the point where it feels like it's slicing my hand open. I slide inside the car, which is filled with the same emotionless atmosphere as always. Suddenly notice a few shadowy figures out of the corner of my eye. Must be Yuki's fans, waiting for her to come out. Don't come any closer. You'll see my masculine hands in Adam's apple. And then the jig will be up. I think to myself as Yayoi soundlessly slips into the driver's seat.
急ぎましょう。浅く腰掛けてくださいますか。
Yeah, Yuki's short. she says, forcefully pushing my head down with her hands. Oh no. I forgot about our height difference. I follow her suggestion, slumping down in my seat while bowing my head forward. I can barely feel the warmth from Yayoi's hand through the fabric of the hat.
あまりお顔は見せないよう願います。
I can see through the tinted windows that the small crowd has already gathered around the car.
出します。
With a dry metallic sound, we take off, the car racing forward. I barely glimpse the surprised faces of those standing closest to the car as we drive by. I peek behind us to see the group of fans still standing under the harsh fluorescence of the parking lot, jumping up and down and waving enthusiastically. A couple of them try running after the car, but Yayoi's sustained speed makes it impossible for any human to keep up on foot. Seems like Operation Yuki was a success. She makes no move to slow down her black car until we reach the next traffic light. Seems like we managed to pull it off. I say to fill the silence as Yayoi waits wordlessly for the light to change. That's good, right? There's an embarrassing tremor in my voice despite my efforts.
ええ、
But her response is as flat as ever.
あそこにいた人たちはみんな、もうユキさんが帰ったものと思い込んだでしょう。
Wanna like go get a
あとは
burger or
自分たち
something
も
on
そ
the
れ
way
ぞれ
back?
帰っていくだけです。
That sounds good to me. As soon as the light changes, the car leaps forward. The lights of the city filtering through the tinted windows move across Yayoi's face like tattoos. I remove the hat, finally freeing myself from the claustrophobic view of the world I've been trapped in.
ユキさん、
She begins, like she's confiding in me within this sealed room.
ユキさんは喜んでおられましたか？
What exactly is she asking me here? Huh? Well, I answer vaguely. But she goes quiet again. Feels like the silence says more than any words could. You let us see each other, but didn't really give us much time to actually talk. I'm not sure how you thought that would make her happy. She glares at me after my despondent answer.
わからない方ですもんね。
Her tone is so dry that I don't get the impression she's telling me off.
ユキさんがしなければならないことは、作り物みたいな愛情に甘えることではないはずです。
Sure. I answer somewhat glumly. Can't help but feel bad for her, though. She snorts derisively.
あなたには人の心が全くわからないのですね。
Fucking pot me kettle, Jesus Christ. She says without looking in my direction. Honestly, the last person I'd expect to hear that from. She seems puzzled by my words.
あなたはユキさんの不安を、心細さをご存知でしょ？ユキさんの強さや弱さ。
I mean, to us, it's fairly obvious, but, you know, Toya here, he's got, like, nothing going on in his head.
それならなぜ、その脆い心を突き崩そうとなさるのです？
I can't answer that. The questions we can't answer are the hardest ones to hear.
ユキさんは音楽祭に出場します。
I look at Yayoi in surprise. Yes, give us plot details. Plot almost the music festival. Yeah, once in a year showcase, most popular idols. Yeah, we know all this. Same scene every single time. There you go, just saved us a couple minutes.
無論、まだ極秘事項扱いで、他への漏洩は厳重に禁じますけれど。
I mean, we could probably run to the tabloids and make like a couple $100. Like, yeah, you know, I heard from her manager that, you know, might give my credentials as a assistant director at the TV station where she works at. You know, I heard a couple rumors. I'm assuming that this must be the secret Yuki mentioned to me on the phone the other night.
お分かりですね。
She speaks calmly, acting like she's won some kind of argument. Sure. I have no idea what exactly I'm supposed to understand, but I nod anyway. Only thing I can see is this illusion that Yuki is moving further away from me. Yuki. My voice trembles, my head bowed.
辛いのですか？ユキさんの成長を目にできたというの。
If you really cared, you'd be happy.
皆さん耐えておられます。ユキさんに心寄せているのは何も。
Huh? What was that supposed to mean?
ご覧になってお分かりになりませんか？ああ見えて尾形さんもユキさんに心惹かれておられる方のお一人なのですよ。
Yeah, it's fucking shark-infested waters out here, boy. Ichi likes her?
だからこんなくだらない立ち回りを始めたのでしょう。
If that's true, then why'd she let Eiji stay behind with Yuki? The words trail off before I can finish, but her attention remains focused on the road ahead.
大丈夫です。あの方はユキさんには何もなさいません。
Yeah, it's still too early in the game.
少なくとも今
He hasn't laid his foundation. Doesn't want her to know how he feels yet?
ええ、
She nods briefly.
それにあの方にはユキさん以上に大切な方がおられます。
More important than her? Might just be my imagination. I noticed the faintest hint of a curl at the corner of her lips. Could it be that this entire conversation is her getting revenge on Eiji for kicking us out earlier? No, I don't think so. I don't see a reality where Yayoi confides in anyone about her own feelings.
あの方もあの方なりに考えておられます。
She's trying to tell me something. That's the impression I get. Same woman who emphatically denied harboring anything as vague as human emotion. She then proceeds to drive me home without another word. And once again, I fail to find an appropriate topic to fill the silence during the ride. I thank her, and as I'm getting out of the car, I turn to ask her a question. What's your plan now?
帰って休みます。
By yourself?
はい
And that's it.
はい。
Well then. You, want to come up for a hot cup of coffee? You want to come up for a few minutes? I smile at her, surprised at myself for asking to begin with.
藤井さんのお宅にですか？
It's just the thought of spending the night as cold as this one alone is too painful. Maybe someone like Yayoi never feels lonely, no matter what kind of night it is. She looks at me, somewhat puzzled.
お邪魔にならないようでしたら。
In no way, shape, or form will your company bother me. I'm just feeling kind of sad. Yeah, you want to have, like, a sad bone? Like, where I cry afterwards? And, like, maybe even during it? In response, she carefully pulls the car into a nearby parking space. I start to shiver again as I watch the lukewarm exhaust get carried away by the night wind. I really was pretty lonely, but Yayoi finally walks over to me. She doesn't look cold at all. It won't be anything special, but I hope it's comfortable enough.
はい。
She nods without any of the formulaic greetings for entering someone else's home. Puts me somewhat at ease. Just as I'm about to usher her inside. Oh,
雪です。
tiny, powdery flakes of snow drift down around us. I guess the painfully bitter wind from a moment ago set the stage for this romantic evening. Can't believe such a magical performance is happening on Christmas Eve I can't share with Yuki. Slightly depressed by the almost cruel twist of fate, I turn to Yayoi, chuckling sadly. She's staring up at the jet black night sky, an unusual, joyful smile on her lips. I found myself doing the same a moment later. I have no idea where in the darkness they're born from, but I'm enveloped in countless snowflakes, feeling like I'm floating through the sky. I lose any sense of up or down. That's called vertigo, bud. You're about to, fall over. Feeling oddly depressed, I seek out Yayoi. She has a distant look in her eyes, seemingly on the verge of melting into the darkness. You seem to be enjoying this, I say, and she suddenly turns to me, like she had forgotten I was still there.
ええ、冬好きなんです。
A tiny snowflake falls into the soft hollow above her upper lip and quietly vanishes. My cheeks instantly turn crimson, as if I accidentally glimpsed something incredibly erotic.
お邪魔します。
After we step inside my apartment, I turn the heat on to full blast. It should start to warm up in a moment. Sit down wherever there's space. I'll make some coffee.
恐れ入ります。
I was right, hot coffee. It's always hot coffee. I'm about to head into word stutter. Head into the kitchen when I suddenly turn around, feeling like something's off. Maybe it's just that I've never had a guest over to my apartment before. With that in mind, Yayoi seems almost out of place against the backdrop of my room, full of the echoes of my everyday life.
何か
No. I place the coffee pot and 2 coffee cups on a tray and carry it out. She's always come off to me as as unbelievably terrifying, but here in my room, she just looks like a misplaced doll. A doll. That analogy would explain her bizarre lack of emotions, or even humanity. Well, she's a mysterious creation. Made of porcelain, resin, and wood, but not skin. Yuki's the only woman who's ever been in my apartment up until now. Not only that, but she's also been trying to tear me and Yuki apart. This woman is the exact opposite of Yuki.
意外と清潔なのですね。
Huh? She says suddenly, while looking around my apartment with wonder. Oh, please don't scrutinize it that closely. But my words have no effect, as she continues to do so.
あら、
Her gaze suddenly stops on the windowsill next to my bed. What, the potted plant? The weird orb?
すみませんが、あれを拝見させていただいてよろしいでしょうか。
She points to a framed photo on the windowsill. It's of me and Yuki from before she made her debut as an idol. Oh, sure. I hand it to her, and she immediately looks at it with rapt attention.
仲がいいんですね。
Well, she's my girlfriend, yeah. If only someone wasn't working hard to keep us apart. I say somewhat bitterly. And yet she doesn't react at all, as if unfazed by my words.
あなたが羨ましいです。
And then she falls silent. Her silence is something of incredible purity. A cleanliness that comes from the eventuality of death, at which point the concept of good and bad fades away. Jesus, dude, she's just being quiet. Don't read into that deep. Before I can say anything, she suddenly looks up at me.
今晩はユキさんと過ごせなくて残念ですわね。
She says without a hint of hesitation. Who exactly do you think is to blame for that?
ご不満ですか？
I mean, as kind of fucked up as it is that, Yayoi, doesn't like us that much and is trying to tear us apart, I honestly believe she is kind of sorry about it, at least a little bit. Even if we're, I don't know, rivals for Yuki's affection, kind of. She's more our opponent this time than, Eiji or something. It's kind of I don't know, and not quite honor among thieves, but you know what I mean. We're both, fucking hate the game, not the player, kind of thing. That's the one thing we have in common, is that we both like Yuki, and sorry I had to deprive that, fucking time with her from you, but it is what it is. Yes, I am. Of course.
その代わりに私がいてもですか？
I'm at a loss for words.
そのつもりで私をここに誘ったのではないのですか？
No, that's not it at all. I frantically wave off her assumption. I have absolutely no romantic feelings for Yayoi. Doesn't gotta be romance, bud. I'm sure she has absolutely no interest in sleeping with me. The thought only makes me more depressed.
前に申し上げたはずです。どんなことにでも従うつもりだと。
Could you put on Yuki's stage outfit for me? Like that might do something, you know, if we turn off the lights, you can at least pretend. Right? I remember. She observes me with a puzzled look on her face, as if I'm some rare specimen. I'm just left feeling increasingly confused. Catching feelings for someone who's usually fairly basic and straightforward. Ah, right. The simplest of things create the most intricate puzzles, as they say.
一人きりなのは寂しいのでしょう。
She cradles my face between her hands. Her eyes once again seem distracted. Her hands are neither cold nor warm. I feel her pointer finger gently trace my skin from my cheekbone to my ear, where her nail slides gently inside. Ugh, don't pick my ear. The shudder races up my spine. She seems to enjoy teasing my ear with her finger, though her expression remains emotionlessly blank.
寂しいでしょう。
I catch the faint whiff of her scent as she brings her face close to mine, and she kisses me. I kiss her back, my body pressed against hers.
よろしいのですよ。我慢なさらなくと。寂しいの。辛いことですものね。
Yeah, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You know, I can pretend you're Yuki, and you can pretend you're also Yuki, but then that I'm Yuki. And, you can do some, like, weird mental gymnastics and be like, yeah, this is great, dude. Yayoi. What should I do? Yeah! Woo! Fucker! Yayoi. I'm sorry. Not even knowing exactly what I'm saying, I hug her tightly, almost clinging to her.
大丈夫ですわ、藤井さん。
She murmurs while cradling my head in her arms.
寂しいことなどありません。
I look up at her, and she chuckles lightly. Her smile is warm and kind. It reminds me of that cruel laugh of hers the other day. The look of passive encouragement in her gaze. I realize I'm holding onto her body tighter than before. I know she's manipulating me. But at the same time, I find myself acting on my own insatiable desire. That's the impression I get. I wonder, is that what an out-of-body experience feels like? She continues looking back at me wordlessly. You want me, right? You're lonely, aren't you? That's what those eyes of hers seem to say. I fall into her body, almost like I'm being pulled in. As always, she's neither warm nor cold, only adoringly pure and beautiful. It seems obvious that her body wouldn't be any different from that of any other woman, yet that fact leaves me feeling strangely relieved. Her body being almost too perfectly taken care of is so very like her. She chuckles softly before kissing me again. Her lips just barely brush mine, and it leaves me feeling painfully on edge. The world's spinning around me, and from her lips I taste the faint rogue of her lipstick. My heart races in my chest, as if in panic. Or would it be rouge, because it's French? Not. I think so. Anyway, moving on. Semantics. Maybe she doesn't notice at all, and yet the more I think about it, the faster and louder my heart pounds. I can't help but moan. Her teeth sink into my lower lip. She acts like she's in a trance, still with that distant look in her eyes. She bites me over and over. Slight enough not to leave a mark, yet feels far from gentle. My own breathing in my ears is embarrassingly loud. I'm blushing a deep crimson, my body feeling like it's on fire. I don't know why, but for some reason, I feel incredibly humiliated. And he's like, but also for some reason, I'm rock hard! can't stop myself from shaking, enough that it causes Yayoi to look at me, surprised. My feelings of overwhelming shame is enough that I can't bring myself to look into her eyes. She slowly brings her face close to mine. A faint smile plays over her lips. And then, she laughs in a way that makes my body shudder.
藤井さんの反応。女性の方みたいですね。
Yeah. It's almost like I'm being forced into doing this, despite my own desires. It wasn't supposed to be like this. All I wanted was a momentary diversion. This arrangement between us was supposed to be mutually beneficial. Yet, I've always been at a disadvantage, her using me for her sole benefit. This act between us is agonizingly painful. And yet I can't pull back. I can't do anything but surrender myself. The feeling of being unable to escape, akin to fear. The awe of a small animal facing an apex predator. Like I'm a kid again, unable to talk back to my older sister. Alright, let's not go there, that's a little weird. I'm unable to push her away, so I do what I can to mentally brace myself.
血を抜いて差し上げます。
Huh?
殿方に余計な血を。
From that point forward, I no longer had any say with her taking complete control. Manipulated by her mechanical technique, void of any kind of emotion. Yet I can't stop myself from moaning in pleasure the entire time. Please stop. And yet I can't force the words from my mouth. She forces her lips against mine, sucking up my painful gasps. I feel almost violated in a sense, and yet can't deny the irrational pleasure. It controls my mind. As further proof, I find myself clinging to her body without being fully aware of what I'm doing. She finally lets me go. I have no idea how I'll ever be able to look her in the face again. A guy who is seemingly devoted to his girlfriend to get off on being dominated and toyed with. Meanwhile, Yayoi only used me to scratch an itch and has no feelings for me whatsoever. This should have been a fair deal, yet I seem to have ended up with the short end of the stick. Like I said, dude, fucking cardboard constitution. You could have, like, had a fucking sex battle, but you just immediately folded instantly. I feel an altogether different sensation on my face. Surprised, I look up to see Yayoi wiping up the drool from the corners of my lips with a piece of tissue. Noticing my attention to her, she simply looks back wordlessly. I feel like she's coddling me, as if I were a baby. No, her movements are far more mechanical, with absolutely no emotion behind them. I want to die. I'm overwhelmed with shame. Yep, that's just how it goes. She looks at me curiously before taking my face in her hands once more and pressing her lips against mine. Stop. I've had enough. But she won't let me go. She continues seemingly automatically, apparently oblivious to my repeated pleas to stop. I cover my own eyes.
泣いておられるのですか?
My arm draped over my eyes. All I can hear is her voice. Am I crying? Me? Of course not. Dude, I called this like an hour ago. No. As soon as I open my mouth to tell her otherwise, I feel something hot on my cheek. A teardrop. I guess I really am crying after all. We silently get dressed without exchanging a single word.
ご不満でした。
Yeah, that sucked. She suddenly asks while peering into my face, her voice unsteady and awkward. I turn away, not wanting her to see how I feel.
気持ちよく
I mean,
ありませんでしたで
it
しょう
did. Like, sure, physically that was great, but emotionally that was fucking hell. Wondering why she's asking me this, I merely shake my head.
それなら
Ever get a hand job so bad you fucking cry? Before she can finish, she stops herself. Instead, she pulls me against her, wrapping me in an embrace. I can barely make out the sound of her heart beating. It feels so natural for some reason. Can't feel her body heat at all, and yet the simple pressure of her breasts against me is incredibly calming. Why am I crying? That's what she was asking me about. That's what she was about to ask me. There's nothing I can do about it, and I have no idea why it's happening. I don't want to mar her skin with even a single teardrop after the filthy act that just occurred. I have no idea why I feel this way, but I do. She quietly kisses the top of my head as I stand there with my face buried between her breasts. It's a motherly gesture, though she feels quite the opposite in that moment. Yayoi. I slowly look up at her.
Hi.
That was weird. You love me?
Yeah.
I see. I expected as much. It's all part of the deal we'd made. Yayoi, I said ask another question.
Hi.
Can I kiss you?
Eh.
This is also part of our deal. Well, better to do everything without any emotional attachment. As our lips press together, I try my best not to overthink our exchange. I close my eyes, and once more, I kiss her. We finally pull back from each other's bodies. She goes into the bathroom. It's not long after she disappears from view that I hear the shower water running. Suddenly overwhelmed by the unbearable feeling of anxiety and loneliness. The type of anxiety that comes when you're at your lowest, overwhelmed by powerlessness. Now all I'm afraid of is silence. I fumble for the remote to the TV before turning it on, drowning out the sound of the shower. And maybe Seinfeld will make me feel better. There's an old foreign movie playing on the TV. The story of a man who longs for death. It's fairly quiet and boring. The sound of the shower is monotonous. The longer it goes on, the louder it gets, drowning out everything else. As I wait for her return, I hug my knees to my chest as I stare at the TV screen. All alone. I just want company without worrying about breaking someone else's trust. Having decided to kill myself, to kill himself, sorry, I put a little too much of myself into my reading there. The man on the screen visits his close friends, floating aimlessly like St. Elmo's fire. The song or the aeronautical phenomenon that happens when static electricity across the skin of an aircraft reaches a point where you start to see kind of like, you know, those plasma balls where you touch your hand and like the lightning shoots out and goes there. It's kind of like that, but it's across the windows of the jet. It's really cool if you ever see it in person. The sound of the shower will never end. All I feel is this restless tedium and anxiety, spiraling in an anxiety loop. I progressively grow sleepy. Now that's the point where you just like walk out and leave. It's like you can have the house, Yayoi. I'm just going somewhere else, anywhere but here. I wake up to the feeling of my cheeks stuck to the floor. The dry white light seeps underneath the curtain. My eyes turn to the TV that's still on. Just from the show, I can tell it's already afternoon. I must have passed out for real. My body aches all over, probably from sleeping on the floor. Feeling sluggish, I get to my feet. As I do that, I feel something slip off my body, like someone had put a blanket over me. Was it Yayoi? Remembering what happened, I search my small room for any sign of her. But of course, she's long gone. Wobbling unsteadily on my feet, I open the curtain. It's bright and warm outside. The roads and buildings are already dry, with no sign of the snowfall from the night before. I guess I'll be spending Christmas alone again. Suddenly spot a piece of paper on the table. I pick it up.
お休みのようでしたので、失礼させていただきました。
Yeah, I gave the old Irish goodbye, just slipped out the back. I bury my face in my hands. My head throbs like I'm suffering from a hangover. You're probably dehydrated, dude. The table is so neatly organized that I almost don't see it at first. Right there, on the side of the white coffee cup in the middle of the table, is a faint scarlet mark. Remnants of her lipstick. Such an incredibly feminine souvenir, on brand with someone like Yayoi. I just woke up, yet all I want to do is go back to sleep. Even the bright sunlight from outside only seems to further sap my ability to think straight. Crumple the note that she left up into a ball and toss it aside before sliding under the covers. While I close my eyes, I feel a dull tiredness surround my eyelids, probably from crying the night before. All right, enough of that emotionally tumultuous period in our life. Time for winter break. But, ladies and gentlemen, with that, that is where we're going to be ending it here for today. Probably only got 2 episodes, probably in the route. Maybe 1 if I really go hard next time. So be sure to come back. We will continue White Album, Matters Like Falling Snow. But before that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you guys all next time. Bye bye.